When it comes to Emma Grede, there is a critical part of the conversation that we are circling around and not addressing, and that is high functioning survival mode. It's a framework I created to describe the unique experiences of someone who is high achieving and high masking. And for Emma Grede, her archetype is the eldest daughter, parentified since she was a child, and she is a go getter. She even says in her own words that she is very resilient. She is a relentless trier. She is a high masking person because she talks about her struggles with being dyslexic. And when you put those together, that is a perfect storm for high functioning survival mode. So, what happens with high functioning survival mode is somewhere along the line, your nervous system, because of complex PTSD, has equated you working hard to earn your safety and stability. And the issue with that is you then create a life that is tied to you constantly working hard to create stability. So you have to keep going to sustain that life. It doesn't only show up in work, it shows up in all your relationships. So you start to overfunction in your relationships and you think that you always have to be doing something to earn the things that you want. And so your value is tied to, or your identity is tied to how much you do and your usefulness. I can't say whether or not Emma's identity is tied to how much she does. I personally would hypothesize that that is the case, but I don't know her and I have not read her book to know much of how she has done her own inner work. But I will say, from what I can see, she has transmuted productivity into something that does create safety for her without burning out because of those two things: support and a grounded sense of self. One, she has structural support, financial support, and maybe even emotional support because she talks a lot about therapy. She has her husband that invested in her business and believes in her being so ambitious and supports that. And then the other thing is she has a very grounded sense of self based on what I've seen in that interview with Kiki Palmer. She knows who she is, she knows what her priorities are. She calls them principles and she sticks to those principles. She talks about how she said no to an investor because they didn't align with her principles. And that is what alignment looks like. And that's what I talk a lot about in my framework. So to her, walking in alignment is high achievement and accomplishment. But it sounds like, from what I can see, she has a balance in which she can recognize when she needs to take a break, when she needs to adjust, when she needs to pause. And that is the important thing. So, safety, care, and freedom looks different for each and every one of us. And it depends on what feels aligned in our nervous systems, what our nervous systems can handle. There are some people who are okay with capitalism and want to be millionaires and they want to work hard to accomplish that and they're okay with that. There are others who want to just have freedom and safety and don't want to burn out trying to achieve it.